All right, ladies and gentlemen, Cutco Mike, my knife guy here. And if you know anything about me, it is my attention to detail on service, reply time, really just making your life easier. So if I haven't had the privilege of making your life easier and you have a question, a concern, anything that you can think of in the form of Cutco related ideas, questions, let me know. I'll be glad to help. So this is my little box here from the mall. So if you know anything about me, I'm always known to make your life way easier. So let me just kind of walk you through here some things. So what I believe in is if you spend money on something, you want what I call is world-class service. So Cutco already has world-class service, but they make you send it in, you wait a couple weeks, and it's just a little bit extra of a step that I would like. So if anything you have like a 1 or a 2 off, if we're talking a full set, message me and I'll get you the proper paperwork here to get your knife set sharpened. Because if I had 25,000 people message me and say, "Hey, I need a new knife set," obviously I couldn't be able to make that happen. But here's what I love to do. So like this customer said, "Hey, Mike, we left it on our hot coil. That's just a spatula." I said, "Hey, send me a picture." I sent them a new one. So then what do? I send them all back, and 90% of them come back fully replaced from the Cutco Forever Guarantee. Here's a wild one. This is a Cutco dog toy, also known as a Cutco can opener. So this customer, I guess, left it a little too close to the edge, and the dogs thought it was, I don't know, rabbit feed or something. But they came to the mall, I gave them a brand new can opener, and then I'm going to send that back. So that's covered. And these are not even my worst case Cutco claims. This is just kind of what happened over the last few weeks here. So the old scoops were made with chrome-plated zinc, and chrome-plated anything with dairy and anything that has milk, eggs, will eventually pit. So the old scoops would pit after time, and they're still considered the best scoops pitted. But for cosmetic look and definitely not wanting any chrome in your diet, Cutco replaced the chrome to all stainless a couple years ago. So we still get a lot of those claims just because the scoop's been around for like 20 years. So once in a while, you'll get a pit like that. But that's all been redesigned, refixed, but we're still helping people get those fixed. All right, here's another Cutco Mike 101 tip. So this is a veggie knife here. Sorry, I'm doing this one-handed. And this person thought it was a cleaver. So one rule of thumb is if the knife's big, doesn't mean it's used on everything big, because it's about the size of the blade and the size of the edge here. So yes, this looks like a cleaver if you're not educated, but a cleaver would be about 2 to 3 times thicker. So this is a veggie knife, and they clearly tried to cut some bone, and that is not what it's designed for. So I said, hey, yep. And this was a brand new customer who literally just bought one knife, and they were blown away. They're like, "Oh my gosh, if the service is that good on one knife, I'm going to buy a whole set." So if you know who you are, reach out to me before the price increase. What are some common things that happen? Oh, this is what I call an overused trimmer. So this person's trimmer, let me see if I can show it here, is basically filed down. So most people overuse their trimmer, and all the teeth are pretty much worn down. And I just replaced it on the spot, made them happy. And then I'll send this in, and Cutco will either grind it one more time. After a few more grinds, it'll be so thin, they'll just replace it. So if you're just joining me, this is my box of mall Cutco that I collected and replaced for people. So if you don't know, Cutco makes the greatest everyday flatware. I call it breakfast, lunch, and dinner flatware. This is like the perfect little yogurt spoon, or if you're trying to have a New Year's diet, it's a great spoon to kind of cut your portions in half. But yeah, once in a while, these sneak into the garbage disposal, and you hit the garbage disposal and they get binged up. But all you got to do is send me a picture, and then we'll send you a new spoon. And that's why Cutco flatware is not cheap. And if you've been thinking about Cutco flatware, it's going to probably be a $3,000 investment come 5 weeks from now. So reach out to me and get it for $1,575 before you have to pay double the price in a few weeks. What happened here? So this one, oh, there you go. That was a hot coil. So definitely, and what's crazy, people sometimes use these things. Oh, by the way, let me give you guys a little tip on this here. So this is called surface spotting. I might not be able to do it because I only have one hand here, but I can clean that up with Barkeeper's Friend. So if you put your Cutco in the dishwasher, that's fine, but certain water and certain detergents and food left on your plates could cause spotting like that, and it will come off with Barkeeper's Friend. Yeah, sometimes it's a pain in the butt if it happens on a few knives. So a couple pro tips. Wash by hand, just rinse them and use a Norwex. Or if you're just throwing all your table knives and stuff in the dishwasher, make sure your dishwasher, like you clean off all your plates. And a lot of people run into the surface spotting with Cascade. So maybe upgrade your detergent to something else. But yep, that's all replaced too. Here's another common one. The broken tips. This is usually caused by you dropping a knife, or you're using a knife on frozen stuff and you're kind of trying to pry with it, or the old screwdriver. But that's all covered under the Cutco warranty. So you can always send in your stuff by yourself. That's no problem. I call this the Good Old Boys Farmer snap a paring knife in half. That one they were probably definitely using a little bit too much force on. But yeah, guys, here's another good example here, the cutting boards. So people always go, I got cutting boards. I don't need Cutco cutting boards. This is why you need Cutco cutting boards. Something like this happens, you just send me a picture or you send it in with your knife set, and then they replace it. All right, so see this right here? This is called some stainage here. So a lot of people go, how do I clean this? You just spray it with bleach and you let it soak for a few minutes, and then that will come right off. And if you see cut marks, that's okay. That means your knife is winning. You don't want to see your knife dulling, so you want the board to really take a beating. And the only time I say send in your boards is if they're melted or warped or they're just so beat up, you're just like, man, that just looks terrible. And it's a great time to send in your board. So this is a very uncommon thing I haven't seen in a long time, but somebody was able to manage to snap that little plastic piece there. And it now doesn't stay shut on the pizza cutter. I love when people get this brand new and they're like, hey, my pizza cutter wheel came out. And either I didn't do a good job or maybe they forgot. It's a retractable blade, so you can clean your sauce. But this one managed to somehow get snapped. And then peelers, I always say the peelers are good to send in, every 5-10 years, get those replaced or tuned up. But yeah, guys, most common thing is like paring knives. Paring knives just really take a beating. They just get overused because people grab them for everything. And usually the tips on the paring knife, some of these were just kind of not up to my standards, so I replaced them for people. But yeah, like that one there, you can kind of see it got bent. So you always want to use proper storage. You always want to put covers and sheaths on your knives. But yeah, paring knives always get overused and abused. And then the next one that gets overused and abused is the trimmer. Those, if I bet my career on the most returns and exchanges, it's paring knife and trimmers. And then, everything else after that is just kind of once in a while situations. And then this one here, this is probably just a husband trying to sharpen. So guys, always use the Cutco sharpener or send in your stuff. So guys, hopefully that helped have you see what's possible with Cutco. So if you're new to Cutco, I always say save these cardboard sheets. I know I should probably start including that in my email confirmation and literally just throw them in a plastic bag. So a few years from now, when you need service, you just email me or Facebook me and I'll send you a little form. You fill it out. I'll even help you fill it out. And if you're like Mike, I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars with you. I need help. I have what we call as a black card VIP service where I'll actually just send you a box with covers. And obviously, if all of you message me today and it's hundreds of people, I probably won't be able to send out covers right away. But if you're like, hey, man, it would be nice to send in my knife set, bought the big knife set, message me. I'll send you what you need to get that expedited. So, guys, once again, thanks so much. Merry Christmas. Today's the 26th. Hopefully you're, here's just a story of Christmas here in our house. Literally, I don't know if your garage looks like this, but we got overflow of bags because that's the Christmas season, right? So we're going to have to fill up the trash can next week. So, all right, everybody. Oh, and here's what Rachel got me. Check this thing out. So we're going to break this baby in tonight. So I have a Solo stove, and this is what you put on top of your Solo stove. So hopefully we get it hot enough here, and we're going to make some homemade pizzas. So my solo stove is somewhere out here in the snow. So we're gonna go for some wood-fired pizzas tonight on this solo stove. So let me know if you have any tips. How long do I leave it in for? How hot I need to get the fire? But we're pretty excited about that. So talk to you guys soon. All the deals end on the 31st. So message me if you're like, hey, I want to buy in advance for next year. Message me if you maybe didn't get. I love this one when the women go, I told my husband to buy me knives or buy Cutco. And I will say, not all husbands are as good as you. You guys know who you are. And they don't get what they wanted. So if you're that spouse and you're like, man, I didn't get the ones I wanted, or I didn't get Cutco, message me and tell your spouse to give it to you for Valentine's Day. All right. So talk to you guys later, and Merry Christmas. Have a nice New Year. And if you're not using Cutco, this is soup weather right now. I always have a bowl on standby. And if you don't know how great the Cutco cookware is and the Cutco utensils, message me. I'll be glad to help. We sold a ton of cookware. There's about 4 of you women. I think there was one husband who got surprised with cookware that should have got Cutco cookware for Christmas. But yeah, I love the Cutco cookware. It's built like a tank, lasts forever, and you never have to replace it. All right, everybody. Hope you learned something. Take care. God bless.